Yay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Friday Night at the Crib. Just lost my YouTube. There we go. I hope everybody's been having a good TLC, and we're going to talk about the raid preview and whatever else comes to mind. So I guess I'll start introducing everybody from left to right. The Hulsh,
Hello, everyone.
Mr. Mike,
Hello, good evening, good afternoon.
Father George,
Good evening, everybody.
and the birthday boy at Two Doors.
Science!
Yes, we are expected to. Oh, yeah. Oh, Nines is already asking for a link. And this is Hefe. All right.
81's got to wait.
But he promises to be good. Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else? Nines isn't allowed to join for a couple minutes, but to join the hangout, I just added the link. To the chat. So was everybody in the? I know that me and George Hulsh, were you in the preview?
No, I was not.
Oh, okay. Anybody else in the preview?
Not in it.
Besides, I know George. I know George was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess me and George were in the preview. What did you think about the preview, George?
I liked the 84 target. It seemed less monotonous than the 100. The 100 annoyed me. I mean, every time I would go in there, I'd think in the back of my head, what this is going to be in the FM? What the hell? And the amount of precision driving that you got to do, even with the stacked version of the fleet that I got. This is not fun. This is not fun, and if it changes into a chore, it's certainly not fun. I mean, one of the problems that I have is that when we had the FMs change each time, right? It would start out difficult, and it would progressively get easier as time went on, as we got better tech, better ships, everything else. Now that's static. Whatever the difficulty is when we start is what we're going to have for the next frickin' year in its entirety. And we've seen that they don't want to make it easy because they changed the Reaver Dam armadas on us.
Well, and the thing that I saw was a lot of times that they'll start, because those were, I'm a little bit confused. Like an 84 is a set, right?
It's a blitz target.
Okay. Oh, okay. So what we saw, okay, because I was a little bit confused because we had 84s and the 100s.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else? I couldn't spend it.
That was it.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So
Now
was the 100 the
that
hardest?
as well. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Would there be another one above the 100, or the 100 was assumed to be the most difficult?
The 100, I believe, my impression was that the 100 was the S target or the elite target for this raid, and then next month, if they follow the last several months pattern or the last couple of raid set patterns, next month we'll have 2 S targets or 2 elite targets, which is the size. I mean, the size of that damn target was enormous.
Yeah, and it had a different dynamic. I guess both me and George, I forgot to text your blog, but I was too lazy to take any screenshots of the entire map. They are large, and they also have been introduced a dynamic that we haven't seen in a while with shrouded towers and ships. At least shrouded towers. We haven't, and you have to hit the right thing to untrigger them. They weren't as necessarily as, I don't think it's straightforward like what you need to hit as last time, but it's these domey looking buildings and whatnot.
I want to know how we went from 89s to that were straight, quick, maybe 5 minutes tops, to the 84.
Yeah, I don't know. The 84s. I mean, the 84 at least was doable with monoliths real easy. I mean, Andrew did it with a Zealous and Halak Citadel combo, but still,
And TSM did them with icebreakers.
Yep.
So Andrew only hit one target the whole review then?
He was working on the 84s. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't going to even try the hundreds. I don't think. I did
Well,
both. I mean, I got on the 84 with the monos. I got it down to under 30 minutes of damage, and the 100. I think the best time that I had on the 100 was 2 hours of damn damage.
Yeah. I mean, so we had an S set, the S set target, where we only get one in the second go round, and then we had a blitz target.
Yep.
But we didn't really. We're not aware of any sort of metamorphism of the.
Oh, hey, Hulsh has a picture of the. If you want to present Hulsh, that's the 100.
There we go.
Did they ever say why the ship in the bottom is shrouded?
No, and the funny thing is in all the targets that I went into that were full, I never got that to unshroud after and completing the target. There was a couple that I went into that I found that were half dead and it was unshrouded, and I'm not sure what was going on with that ship.
Well, whenever you would go in, TSM scrolled around. It's a Zoe Apollo from what I saw.
Yeah, it's an Apollo. I don't know which kind of Apollo, but it's an Apollo. I just don't know what the hell it's there for. It never unshrouded, and all the hits that I did, it never unshrouded. And quite honestly, I didn't find this target fun.
So
the 84 was kind of fun.
You said if you came in half dead, it was unshrouded, but if you came in and ran the whole thing and won, it was shrouded.
If it was half dead, I would come in, it was unshrouded and gone. It was just disappeared.
They might use that as a check if it's there or not to see if you did the whole thing in one run.
Oh, to blitz.
And that's all the logic I can apply.
Yeah. Too bad you can't blitz an S target though. Not yet anyway.
I was not
You're waiting
sad
for the day, huh?
June. Next month, maybe.
The funny thing is when you scroll all the way out, like I clipped this pic, but on the left there, you can kind of see off the map, there's buildings and shit, and that's where some of the ships are. And then on the top, it was the same thing. And I was like, that's buildings are off the map. That's just weird to me. Very, very strange. But yeah, this is it's an odd target. It wasn't it was not fun for me. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it was because of the amount of precision driving constantly through the whole thing. I don't know. And then we have like these little black thingies all over the water that in the last raid set meant something was going to pop up. I don't know why they're here. It's just strange. It's a strange target. I like the 84 much better.
See, I would have liked that shroud control up there in the corner in front of those turrets that are shooting at you, or at least halfway through it. It's kind of a little BS that you can't shoot them or try to kill them. You have to take the shots.
Yeah, running past the shroud it seems overly cheap. And in practice, I feel like it's their anti-citadel mechanic where your sits aren't fast enough to get past them and they'll shoot at you out of range and you'll die. Didn't somebody, maybe it was somewhere else, maybe it was in an 84. I feel like someone tried to park their sits kind of in that first little slot, and then they would move their quick Zealous tank in down and try to do that. Oh, you can't go that far. Did they?
I think it was Andrew.
That might have been on an 84 though, because if he never tried 100. I feel like that would be a potential solution, but I can't see the ranges in my head well enough, so that might not work. Well, maybe it will work.
If Hosh wants, I have the 84 listed too.
That could work, Brian.
I mean, now that I've said it, it won't by next week, but whatever.
Hey, at least it ain't as deadly as the 115s.
these are the 115s. It's just with more weapons in it.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh,
But
that's
if,
right. Yeah, the people complaining about 112s and crap now because kicks need to. I think what they've done so far is they've changed the charge armors. They need to start changing the targets, even the ones we currently have, to match up with the expectation of the new charged armors.
Yep.
The massive difference in what happened there drastically changes what they're kind of allowed to get away with in targets in terms of what the player base deems to be acceptable damage, and that's incredibly different now than it was before. And they need to mess with that.
Part of the issue with the charged armors, is we've covered the build times, and trying to take them off is costing outrageous amounts of times now. But the weight difference, like a lot of the builds, like the build that I used in the preview server, will not work with anything else but charged armor because of the weight. Mm-hmm. It won't fit. So I don't know.
Yeah, and that's I think part of a design, because the OU is so heavy. Mm-hmm. It is so heavy that you can only fit charged on, and I feel like you kind of have to if they're gonna make super splashy and super tight spread arc missiles and cold snaps that you can't outrange if you drive straight at them. You have to like sneaky splash kill them from a side thing or something.
Yeah.
And it's well,
I mean, do you want to go into the 84 real quick? Because
there's a picture of it right there.
Yeah, this one you have to actually go around the entire outside in order to unshroud the gate to get in, and then there's that right in the middle there. There's those same things that we had in the 115 or the 100. I'm sorry, where you have to charge through. This is the one I think you were talking about that Andrew tried to park outside and hit it with just the Zealous jumping in.
Yeah, I think he tried to park on the very inside corner, or maybe not even the inside corner, just as far as away as you could get when you got inside that gate that is shrouded with the blue thing.
I mean,
I thought I was able to hit that with the. Yeah, I thought I was able to hit that with my monoliths.
I can hit that shrouded part on the left. You can hit from the outside. So what I did was I'd finish the outside, go in, hit the building in the middle there unshrouds those rockets.
Mm-hmm.
I would kill that's the one I was rockets, and then come back out. Yeah. But I mean, the monos are fast enough to pull that off. You can't do that with the citadels. So, and then I have one more pick. Let me see if I can get.
Can you outrange the cold snaps in there?
No, that's the next picture. Hold on a second.
Oh.
That if Holsh, if you can bounce that one next. This actually will show this is how close you can get to those cold snaps. Any closer than this, the cold snap activates and hits you. Yeah.
Well, I was having a good Friday till now.
Sorry. I mean, it's very, very much precision driving in this with the monolith.
And I see what looks like an anti-rocketeer turret near top middle of that cluster.
Every single cluster. There's one on every single cluster.
So everyone, don't build pinches. You don't need them.
I mean,
no. Build pinches.
Build pinches and keep them.
Yeah, here's the catch, because the problem is sometimes if you get at the wrong angle or you have to turn around because you dipped in too quick, you'll end up killing the front part of this of the cluster or something. And a lot of times you'll have like one cold snap left. And instead of charging and hitting the cold snap, you pinch the damn thing. That way you don't have to get shot.
Yep.
But that's the amount of, like, that's the wiggle room right there. That's it right there. And you have to come out and, like, I'm on this one, I'm shooting the missile turret, the executioner all the way on the left. And the DPS on this hull, I actually found that I did not need as much splash, but the explosive damage actually helped more. So I swapped out the viscosity regulator for explosive upgrade, and it worked out much better. If only I could get the driving down.
Now, I've got a question. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, since you played around with the monoliths for a while, have you noticed if they have the hidden stat like the where it's 100% damage at the outer splash?
No, they don't.
Okay.
There's a drop off. I don't know what it is, but there was a drop off because the inside turrets would die way faster than the outside turrets. The outside turrets would take the second or third hit.
Yeah, and I guess she didn't watch the show before last Friday's show nines.
Working.
Okay, well you can still watch it. It's available at any point in time.
Yeah,
but the
I mean,
the Imperial mortar is they dropped that down to 78. But the Judgment mortar and the OU both have a 50% minimum splash. All the stats are all the hidden stats are identical, at least prior to this most recent buff.
So they
were
nerfed
identical. Yeah, it was originally 100, but I don't even know if we saw them at 100. But last check, those were at 78, which is still significantly higher than the 50% that you see on the Judgment and the OU and the rest of that stuff.
right.
So
yeah, the previews was interesting. I don't know. I like I said, I like the 84. I mean, the 84 is going to be monotonous after a day or two. The 100 is monotonous right off the bat. I mean, I didn't enjoy it. I just didn't.
Oh yeah,
which is going to be a lot of to do with how they price things, because if you can still do the A sets and they haven't been radically changed, there was, they could get grindy, but it could be done.
I'm afraid they changed that cold snap range on everything because this range was the same in the 84 as it was in the 100. Like I will not be surprised if the cold snap range is changed in the A set.
Hopefully they did, because that was helping a lot of people do the raid.
Yeah, and why don't we go to Polish? Why don't we go to that the slide regarding the what they've sort of previewed for the Icebreaker in the I think it's the first slide past the title page. Okay. During the Icebreaker preview, they up the explosive and penetrative sort of stacking auras for the Icebreaker from 15% to 25%. During the Icebreaker preview as a potential, I guess they were gathering data to figure out how much that might improve it in targets. So I was just trying to figure out how that might tie into, extending
That cold
some of
snap.
these ranges in order to account for that. Make it a little bit more blitzy. And I haven't, because it's preview, I haven't run the numbers to figure out. I guess I should have. I mean, George, you probably still have. Remember that spreadsheet that we were working on?
Yeah.
All you would need to do is change those 15s to set 25s and figure out what kind of resistances we might be getting on the Icebreaker if you have 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, I think I still have that spreadsheet. Hold on a second. Let me look.
Because that could be that could be telling, in regards to what they plan to do with those targets.
It's a little strange and disconcerting that their counter to superpowered rockets is to give you more defense, but then also increase the range of the rocket. Assuming they're keeping the damage anywhere near the same, then your extra defense might not matter if you get hit by so many more of these shots. Like, it might just all even out. And that's my concern.
Yeah, well, they like to have things even out. Maybe it evens out for the Icebreaker, but it eats up other things. I don't,
Well, also evens out for the Icebreaker. Man, it was a piece of garbage and nobody used it and everybody wanted their build time back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much better they made it in context.
What's the thing now? 25?
Yep.
Yeah, it's 25 now.
Pretty
It's
much
still
it wasn't-
base. Is it still base 60?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, as far as I recall, everything. This was the only thing that I saw change in the preview was the 15 to 25. Unless anybody else, I guess you were the only one here that was on. But that's the only two stats I saw change.
So
it wasn't.
let's see. It goes from stacked resistances go from with 1 to 4 icebreakers, it went from 66, 71, 75, 79. Now it's 70, 78, 83, and 87% just from the stack.
Yeah, not assuming any armors or
Right.
even a armor special.
Correct.
Okay. What happens if you throw on MX3? Do you know what number we're at? Is that in your spreadsheet? Because I'm curious with just the MX3 on there, what that top number is going to be, because it's 87, and then you're going to be adding in
On J18,
55.
55, 94%.
Okay, so it's starting to,
That's with MX3.
yeah. And then you start throwing on the charged armors, and yeah, you could be way up there.
You got to
Let me
remember,
see, hold on
guys,
a second.
when TSM was testing on the preview, wasn't he getting better results with AA3?
Yeah, I think that was one of the big takeaways. Because I feel like a lot of those, like you could outrun the arc missile. That's how fast you were. So missiles were a concern, but not as big a one as you might think. And the penetrative damage he probably was taking was more of the fleets with weaker initial weapon damage.
Missiles.
Mm-hmm.
So with MX3, a turret defense special, and 2 D1s, you would be at 97.8 resistance against turrets.
And prior to, assuming this, and what was the baseline?
Prior was 96.4.
Okay, 96.4 to 97.8.
Mm-hmm.
Which is still, it may not sound like that much, but
When you get up
if
to
anybody
those
wants to do
numbers,
some live math, that is a,
significant, yeah.
yeah.
That's with just D1s. I mean, if you have the charged armor or the D5s on, it's going to be different. I just never did it.
So it wasn't the mono buff that may have screwed the raid. It might be the icebreaker buff.
What were those numbers one more time? I can maybe have context. The
96,
resist numbers after?
96.4 versus 97.8.
Okay, so I had the numbers right. Yeah, that's
33%?
Yeah.
That's in my head. 40?
97.8 versus 2.2 to 3.6.
Yeah.
Yeah,
2.4 would be 33, so yeah, 40 sounds.
2.2 versus 3.6 is what I'm doing. Is the amount of damage that gets through,
Yeah.
and damage that you got prior. So 40% damage reduction approximately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we could do the math the other way and just look at, we added 10, right? And then we multiply that by 4. So that might have been the easy way to do it, right?
My head hurts.
No, because of the way multiplicative nonsense works.
Well, we're still reducing from, okay. Well, I don't sure.
Yeah, you're coming from the other side of it, Hefe.
Which, yeah, and also if you're running charged armor, that'll decrease it even more because your deflection.
Right. Well, that's only,
we don't account for that here.
That's with D1, which is only a 12% increase, right?
I'm talking about, or actually just your straight siege deflection.
Right.
That's,
What's D5?
Yeah, D1 won't give you siege. 18. So is the charged armor. It's 18.
So with 18,
and the 28 deflections of any type.
With 18 on each, it would be 98.1.
We're assuming retrofitted to R15 because if you're going that deep, it might take you less time to retrofit it to R15 than it does to build the armors themselves.
oh gosh.
You're actually very close.
Yeah, like 8 armors is about the time to retrofit it to max rank. Thanks,
Kickstarter. Sir.
Guys, if you got to armor your icebreakers, just retrofit at the same damn time.
You might
This
be done
is-
in time for June.
Yeah, this is interesting. Playing with these numbers now with that buff, I might have to finish. Like, I might spend the next month just finishing both fleets, because Lord knows neither one of them is done.
So you're not going to build the sloth?
Fuck no.
I haven't talked about the slosh yet.
We have oppressors. It's gonna be okay or something.
Yes.
We're gonna call it the slush.
Yes. Alrighty, because that's actually is the next slide, I think. But I don't know if we want to talk about that yet, or is there anything else that we've learned moving forward as far as preparing for the raid or whatnot?
Yeah,
Is there going to be a future check? Go ahead, George.
I was just gonna say that what we definitely learned is that the skill hull is not gonna represent 0 damage with great driving anymore. That's what we learned. That's out the window.
Oh, yeah.
And who's doing the great driving?
Completely. That was completely out the window. I had 2 of them that I drove really good. I couldn't friggin' record for crap because I was doing the hangout at the same time.
I got you.
Oh, so it's performance anxiety.
Yep,
So, yeah.
that's what it was.
Is there going to be a future slide about the charged armors?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll wait for my rant for that there then.
How big a player is the Visago going to be if it's out of the picture?
Enormous because it's kind of depends on the exact building damage bonus, but that's a significant damage percentage increase, and also because your ships move so much faster, you take a lot fewer shots
Yeah, you'll outrun.
just getting into range.
Yeah, you'll
Yeah.
outrun.
Yeah,
the
and I feel
shots,
like
too.
that's why a lot of those just random buildings are there,
Hmm.
because that's like 8 stacks with 1 rocket.
You know, looking at these resistance numbers, I'm just like, you might actually be able to drive this like a damn blitz hull now. If you have the Visagos.
The good news
Well,
is
we thought that about the Ironclad too, and
the good
That's
news
true.
is next month.
99% plus resist failure.
The good thing is next month we might have a TLC that comes out with a 20-day token for Visago.
Oh yeah, I should buy it this time.
I have it, just haven't built it, so it's might as well not have it, right?
I didn't even get it. Yeah.
I didn't even get it because Icebreaker sucks so bad. Why would I get the flagship?
Yeah. But I got the Icebreaker other 4 built and ready to go.
I was going to get the gridiron this raid.
Good on you. Hopefully they'll give you some Icebreaker refit tokens to make up for you having to re-put your charged armors back on, because now they're actually good.
Now I have to take charged armors off of the
That's what I'm doing.
to put on the mono.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing. I am so
Yeah,
pissed off about
I
that.
have to do that too.
I am so pissed off about that because it went from, what was it, like 3 hours
Call
a pop or something.
Girl,
I don't
to
know what
like
the hell it was. It's like
8
crazy. Like
hours.
it's 3 times as long now. You know,
I don't
to
sleep
take
that
off
long.
take off three pieces. It was 21 hours.
Well, the good news is if you're unsure of it, you can just wait till the raid and then coin it off,
Someone shut him
or
up.
coin the new ones you build up.
Nine's playing the part of Kix Mall.
Yeah, that's actually I'm actually saving like all my mono tokens from the TLC. I'm saving them till like that. I see the raid targets final.
Doing the same thing.
I'm saving 4 1-days if I can. I have a build that's a little different from George's. I have where he has explosive upgrade. I have viscosity regulator, and I have 1 fewer charged armor on each of my monos because I can't afford 6 days of time.
You have the old.
Oh, I have to take one
you have
off.
that-
Crap.
Yeah, you have that second build.
6.5 days of time. Thanks, Kix.
I have similar with the second build of yours, George, just about.
There's this interesting, because you do damage from the center of your splash out to a minimum at the edge. So theoretically, adding splash gives you damage bonuses at certain ranges, but I
Right.
don't think any of it's particularly comparable to an explosive upgrade. And I'm not going to do that math for like 3 weeks because I got presentations and
Well, I
finals
mean,
and crap.
the reason why I switched was because when we saw the target, they were close enough together that I didn't need that extra splash.
Yeah, I'm thinking that I might use mine in like actual A's. And in actual A's, they were pretty spread out. So I decided to keep the splash.
Gotcha.
Or maybe they'll, change something. They were definitely a lot tighter grouped than I thought they would be based on how much splash we can achieve, because that's a lot of splash.
George, what was the range on that arc missile in that grouping?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, hold on a second. You're still presenting, right? Let me grab the. Where the hell did I put it?
It sure started firing pretty quick.
I got a video of the 100. It's just not a good video of the 100.
I'm more interested in the minimum range of it, or does it have a minimum range that you run into?
I don't
then it
think
hits
I
your
ran
back
into
line.
it.
Yeah, you
Hold on a
just
second.
want to
Here's
kill
the-
it dead and have it not hit your back line.
There's the video link if you want to friggin' stop playing that thing and see if you can find it. I don't think I took a still of the arc because I know what I did notice that the arc, when it merved, the grouping was much tighter and it always hit your ships.
Mhm.
The splash, even if you stopped automatically, the splash was going to hit your ships, which sucked.
So now it's strange because they used to do things that would make you want to group your ships together. In addition, there's the mono field, which George and I, I'm sure, share a separate rant about. But there was the strat that George is pioneering where you make your grid a little faster and just have everything all synced up and nice. But it seems like the wider splash, the circle, the new arc missile makes it seem like you want to drive your tank up and have your backline at the max range, like how we used to do it the rest of the time.
Right.
But that's not how the skill hull works because they literally can't get the display of the ring that gives you the bonuses right.
Yeah.
You cannot even trust the game to play itself, although that's also in reference to was it Stu that he
Yeah.
tried to auto the target on icebreakers and it just stopped. Like it literally wouldn't complete
Yep.
the target. Thanks, Kix. Nice auto hull. That's programming.
Fantastic.
Best quality. Best of the best quality.
So.
They sell chicken in Korea. Best of the best quality. BBQ.
Okay.
Oh, you think I'm
So
kidding?
there's the arcs shooting right there, and